The two most common issues for day traders come down to two simple things: how to have better entries and how to maximize profits, taking profit too early. Today, I'm going to break down a simple strategy step by step on how you can maximize your profits and also get better entries. Gonna break it all down right here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today we're talking about a simple strategy for day trading, how to maximize your profits, how to get better entries. It's all very simple. We're going to break it all down right here, and I'm going to show you guys the exact indicators and everything that I'm using here on the charts. Let's dive into the chart and dive into this simple strategy. Pulling up the TradingView desktop software here, this is what I'm using every day for charting and for analyzing the markets, kind of getting an idea of what's going on. Obviously, I want to have all the information all in the right place. The nice thing about TradingView is once you set up a chart, you save it, you can have those indicators forever. You can go through and learn more about TradingView. There's a link down below if you guys want to sign up and check out what's going on with TradingView. But right now, let's dive into what we got going on here. All right, first off, what do we have going on here? We have a 30-minute chart up top here. We have a 3-minute chart down below. Let's start off with the 30-minute chart and talk about what indicators I have on the chart. And then at the end of this video, we're going to talk about how to enter and exit trades based off of what we're seeing here on the chart. We've got the 8 EMA being that orange line. We've got this yellow line being the 21 EMA. On this 30-minute chart, you can clearly see that we trended higher all day on Friday. Pretty much just trended higher all day. We are bouncing off that 8, just moving higher all day. If the orange line being the 8 EMA is above the 20 EMA there, the 21 EMA, that's bullish, right? We're going to stay bullish throughout the day in terms of buying the dips and thinking the market's going to move higher. So we move higher up and we're bullish as long as we stay above. Now, if we end up crossing the 9 EMA here, like we did back on, I think, Tuesday, Monday. If we end up crossing, this is a good one here after some data came out. When we cross the 20 EMA with the 8 EMA, that orange line crossing that yellow line, this is going to be bearish because now that 8 EMA is below the 20 EMA, and that's telling us that we're in an overall downtrend. The market's moving down, right? The market's moving down there based on the fact that we crossed the 8 and the 21. All right, so now we're going to pull up the 3-minute chart that's down here below. Normally when I have it set up on my computer, I have the 30 up top and the 3-minute down below. We got more stuff going on with the 3-minute chart, so I need a little bit more room for the 3-minute chart, but let's jump into the 3-minute chart here. So pulling up the 3-minute chart, like we just saw with the 30-minute chart, we had that beautiful trend all day there on Friday. The market just kept going higher and higher and higher. We pushed all the way up to 13,580 by the end of the day. Similar to the 30-minute chart, we have the yellow line here being the 21 EMA. We then have the 13 EMA as that orange-red color. And then the blue line is going to be our 8 EMA. 3 EMAs on the chart, you can see kind of like a perfect little rainbow. When the market's moving higher, this looks really nice. It's just moving up. Beautiful. Okay, awesome. So for the 3-minute chart, we're focusing on the price action above the 8 EMA, being above the 13, and then being above the 21, obviously. If we're above all that, well, then we're bullish. The MACD is the moving average convergence, right? That's showing us where we're getting different crosses. Also, another thing that's important with the MACD is the histogram. We have the histogram here showing the overall momentum. If we see that we have this like greener color and then the white color, that's basically momentum moving up. And then as momentum is slowing, we get these white candles. And then on the pullback, we get the red candles. And then again, momentum is slowing to the downside, we get the white candles. Now you have an idea of the indicators that I have here on the chart with the 30-minute time frame and the 3-minute time frame. The big thing for both time frames really comes down to the 21 EMA. We've got the 8 EMA, and then on the 3-minute time frame, we have the 13, and then the MACD, and then the MACD histogram. Now that you know the indicators that we have, let's talk about how do you enter and exit trades based on this overall setup and these indicators, these tools that we have, right? How do we enter trades? How do we maximize our profits? Hey, if you guys enjoy these videos, do me one big favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, you know what to do. Also, if you want to learn more, leave a comment down below. What else should we talk about? What is your favorite indicator? Let's focus on, we got the 30-minute chart here on the left. We got the 3-minute chart here on the right. Again, we got the EMAs. We got all the indicators. You guys already know that. How do we enter and exit trades based on these indicators? The first thing we're going to focus on is what's going on with the 30-minute chart over here on the left. You can see the market's holding above the 21 EMA. We're still pushing higher. Just to give you an idea, let's focus on like this area here, that 460 area. What's going on with that 460 area? Do we want to be buying? Like what's the action there? If we go, we look at the 3-minute time frame, you can see how we pushed up to that level. We then turned it into support and we made a move higher. But where do we enter? Where do we exit those trades? What we want to focus on is going to the right here, and we can see that what do we get? We get a beautiful cross on the MACD. The MACD's crossing right here. We got that cross in the MACD. Okay, that's the first indicator we want to confirm. We also have the support on the 21, the 8, and the 13 there. We're above both of those indicators. Looking good. We go again, we confirm on the 30-minute time frame that we're above the 8 EMA. We're bullish. We're not running into any resistance. So what we want to do is we want to get long in this area here. Now what I want to do is I want to show you how I'm going to enter this trade. Remember, we got the cross on the MACD. We're pushing up. We've got all of this setting up beautifully. Now what I want to focus on here is we got some resistance right there at the 512 level. So what I want to do is the high on these candles is 513, 512, 513.50, 513.50. So we know that 513.50 area, if we were trading, there would be some resistance there. We'd be looking for a breakout, right? We'd be looking for a breakout to the upside from that move. So what I want to do is I'd put my entry right above these candles, that 13 level. So like 15s is basically what I'm looking for that breakout. We entered the trade and now we're long. All right. And what do we see? What's going on? We got the MACD trending higher. You can see green, 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 green candles, and then those white candles there. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pushing up all the way to the 40s. So from the 15s to the 40s, a nice move up there. So I'm looking to take some profit into this push higher, and that's exactly what we would do, taking a little bit of profit. We then get a pullback right here to that 8 EMA. We got the 13 right there below. The one thing as well that I want to tell you guys about is we want to see these lines stacking up nicely. Like we want to see a nice kind of orderly looking stack in terms of having those EMAs. We want those EMAs to look kind of nice and fanned out and looking like, you know, there's order there. Like it's kind of trying to look all nice and textbook, I guess, you know, like very just clean. You got the 21, you got the 13, you got the 8. So it's very clean in the sense of these lines are just kind of pointing up, right? They're just going higher, and it's very simple to see that there's a trend higher. Now, if you look back here, like when these lines start getting kind of crushed up, they start getting chopped up, those are areas that we kind of stay away from. Again, you know, kind of pretty good there on Friday, but like this area here, these lines are just all kind of chopped up. They're just not really clean. They're not really showing us a good kind of overall trend. You can see here, this starts to get a little bit better. The market pushes higher. So we really kind of want to focus on that as well, looking at kind of where that space is between those EMAs, right? Like we want to have some nice, beautiful looking rainbow type move there in the EMAs. So we've entered our trade there at the 15s. Where is our profit target at? Now, it's always, you know, a little tricky because you're like, oh, well, I could take profit early. You know, am I going to get stopped out? But with this overall trend, the way that it's going here on the 3-minute chart and on the 30-minute chart, we can look at this like, okay, you know, I'm going to take some profit along the way. Like I'm okay taking maybe, you know, if I have, let's say I have 4 contracts. Let's say I have 4 contracts that I enter with. I'm probably going to take one contract off when we push up. I might take another contract off like in this area, and then I'm going to hold 2 contracts for that continuation higher. And then probably take another contract off like the 40-50 area, and then we still push up. Why do I hold? Why do I keep holding here? As long as we stay above these EMAs, as long as we stay above this, as long as this keeps looking fanned out and nice, as long as the MACD doesn't cross, as long as all these things are looking good and bullish, then we're staying in that trade. We have the EMAs, we have the MACD. We have the overall histogram down there. We haven't had any red on the histogram yet. And then you can see later on we had some red, and that's kind of like where our exit would be up in this level. I mean, I'll be honest, if I'm long from the 15s and I'm still long in the 70s, there's a pretty good chance that I probably took profit, 60, 50, 70 level at that point. So, I mean, that's a really good trade there for the NASDAQ. So, again, just confirming, why are we entering? When are we entering? We're entering for that break above this level here. Always kind of breaking, looking for those breakouts there. That's my style of trading. But really, you could have entered earlier. You could have entered here. Like if you're just only wanting to ride momentum here, you could have entered through this move here. But the problem for this move up is that the MACD just is not really giving us a clean indicator on why I want to get long there. This spot right here, you can see the MACD crosses, and then we start to get green candles there on the histogram, and that's a bullish sign. The 30-minute time frame is bullish. The 3-minute time frame is bullish, and I can enter here and ride this momentum higher and basically just move my stops with the EMAs. As the price action is moving higher, I can start to just move up with that. Where's my stop at on this trade? You're basically right below the low of these candles that you entered in for the high push. When these candles pushed up, my stop is basically right below these 4 candles. For a short example, check this out. We got the 30-minute over here on the left again. We got the 3-minute over here on the right. On the 30-minute, we're breaking below. We've gotten the cross. We got the cross of the 8 EMA and the 20 EMA crossing right there. So we're bearish to the downside. So we can look for opportunities to get short here on this move lower, right? So let's focus on 12 o'clock is when we got that cross. We got the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA crossing there on the 30-minute. So that's bearish. We broke to the downside. So you can see here on the 3-minute time frame, we did get this break below the 520s. We sold. We got the cross there on the MACD, and we had red there on the histogram for quite some time. Obviously, not every move is going to be perfect to the overall criteria here. But the thing about this strategy is when everything lines up perfectly, you're looking at a really good risk to reward. Like that is a really good overall, edge in the market. You're finding an edge because when the indicators all line up perfectly, you're basically acknowledging that there's oh, hey, look, all of these things are telling me that I should enter. All of these things are telling me that I should do this trade. So here on this move up, we broke below the EMAs there on the 30-minute time frame. We got a MACD cross. You can see the market move from the 37s down there. You can see the market moved from that 430 level all the way down here to 360. And again, what do we got going on? We have this push back up to the 8 EMA. Where do we enter? We're going to enter when we break below the low on these candles here, right? We got the 8 EMA. We're pushing up to. We got stuck at the 13, and we're looking to sell. So the low on this candle right here is the 409. So I'm going to enter this trade when we break below that 409. So we break below 409. We get all the way down there to 30. So we break below 409 here. This candle right here drops all the way down there to 391. The next candle is 375 and then 360. So plenty of profit there. My stop is going to be basically at the high of these candles here, or even if you want to go a little bit higher, maybe the high of these candles, or really the 21 EMA. But depends on your overall risk tolerance and how big of size you're trading. But for me, I'd probably have this being my stop. So if we're breaking through the low on this candle, my stop's going to be the high of this candle. So we're entering here at the 10s, and we're risking kind of off, I'd say 25, 30 level there on that move down. And you can see we moved all the way down here. Again, where is my profit target? I'm thinking that we have this area before, this previous bottom area, looking to take profit there at the 80s would have been kind of my strategy, always kind of looking to test those lows, maybe a little bit of a break below the lows, and then look to take profit. Another short setup to show you guys here. Again, on the left side, 30-minute time frame, what's going on? We've got the 8 EMA below the 21 EMA, so we can be bearish. We think the market's going to move down. Okay, let's stay bearish through this move. So we get a big move at open. Looking here at the 3-minute time frame, we are confirming that we're bearish on the 30-minute time frame, and we see this big drop at open on the NQ. It pushes back up. Where is my entry here for this move? My entry is going to be below these candles here, the low being the 39s, 37. So 37s, look where we're looking to enter at. We're going to enter like right when we break below there, and we're going to get this move down from the 35s all the way down here to about the 80s to the 70s. So nice little move down. You can see we had the convergence on the MACD. We got the red histogram happening. You could have maybe entered up here if you were a little bit more risk tolerant, like you thought, we got stuck there. You could have maybe entered, I would say, like this level. You could have entered here. Could have done that, seeing that we're getting stuck there at the EMAs. Again, the EMAs looking nice. They're fanning out there. That's what we want to see. It's looking, the trend is clear. We got the move lower, and you can see all the way down there to the 80s. Now we have another setup here later on in the day. We're starting to converge, starting to bounce. We get the MACD cross, right? MACD crosses. So now I know, I'm like, hey, it's time to start looking for an opportunity to get long. And we can see that the histogram's turning green, starting to push up, starting to show momentum here. We've got the MACD cross. We got all that. But what's going on with the 30-minute? Are we above? We're above there on the 30-minute. So we confirmed that we're bullish on the 30-minute time frame, and then we're bullish here on the 3-minute time frame as well, because we have the MACD cross, and we're starting to fan out there on those EMA lines. So where is my entry? Where do I want to trade this? Same idea. We're going to look for this candle here to push above those highs. Again, we're pushing off the 8 EMA, the 13, and we're entering once we start to push back off of those highs. A little tricky one. This one kind of was like up and down, but a little doji there, but still pushing up. And on this next candle, we got all the way up there to the 45. So we're entering here at the 20s, getting a push up there to the 45s. Market, again, kind of pulling back here, a little choppy, and just not getting that move all the way at the end of the day. Obviously, same thing. Not every trade is going to be perfect and work out exactly, but you're still capturing, 20, 30 handles to the upside, and then kind of just riding this with my stop. If I'm entering here at the 20s and we push all the way to the 40s, well, then at that point, I'm basically going to put like my stop at 25, 30, break even. We get stopped out. But the key here is to focus on the different indicators, right? The different indicators, when everything lines up perfectly, you're going to have that much better of a trade. Like the percentages of having a winning trade when all of your indicators are all lining up perfectly, when everything that you need is perfectly lined up, well, that percentage chance of having a winner is going to be much, much higher. I showed you guys the charts. I showed you the entries, the exits, the ideas here. We're basically looking for a couple different things to all line up perfectly, right? The perfect scenario. We want to have the 30-minute time frame bullish with the 8 EMA above the 21. Then we want to have the MACD cross. We want to see momentum in the MACD histogram. And then we want to see those EMAs on the 3-minute chart fanning out. We want to see them fanning out and showing us that there's a decent trend going on. So pretty simple idea, I believe, just making sure that all those things are lining up. The problem with day trading is, a lot of people have a plan. They see the plan, they follow the plan until they don't, and then they end up blowing up. So the idea here, my friends, is to make a very strict plan. Make it very clear that I'm only going to enter when all of these different things all line up perfectly. When they all line up perfectly, I'm going to enter my trade. I'm going to make a trade based off of those indicators, my strategy all telling me like, hey, look, this is time. It is time to enter. It is time to get long. It is time to get short. If you guys haven't already, do me one favor, hit that like button, subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later on.
Yeah.